You know, I gotta say, Dynamite never gets tongue-tied. He is. It's honestly incredible how flawless he usually is. But the glitter, it got him. That's not something he's used to saying.
With the glitter trim, I mean, that's a tongue twister in the middle of this thing.
So here we go, our first boxing match of the night.
Open stance matchup from the guys. Feet all over the place early here for Freddie.
See Adams shaking that off, saying no, sir.
Mendoza just playing the levels game a little bit, punching high, punching low, trying to gauge your reaction.
Adams looking for a bomb with the left hand.
Beautiful. The eyes of Chris Mendoza.
They are wide open.
Tuned in, just barely out of the way of these punches, but he sees them. Keeping a dominant foot position. Freddie Adams, the longer of the two, as well, really reaching for some of these punches.
One of the interesting things you see as you get a change in levels is more misses. You know, the more seasoned fighters are not there to be hit. And so we're going to see a little bit more of that as they find their range. It's a little bit harder when someone's not just standing in front of you trying to throw.
Absolutely.
Big punches.
You got to wonder if Mendoza doesn't look for an uppercut at some point, that head way down there like that.
It's a fair call.
Shot to the body.
Solid contact there.
Little tongue.
Yeah, little theatrics from Freddie Adams. He's
Why not?
you know, been willing to talk to his opponent.
Chris Mendoza with the double jab cross to the body, then he goes double jab and reaches the cross to the head, and it comes awfully close. Big cross to the body again there. Just gauging, trying to see.
He may have hit him in the cup. And
Freddie Adams says it went low. I'm not sure.
I think it did, but I think he kind of blocked it down into it.
The corner from Mendoza saying that wasn't low. He's just out of shape. It was close. I will say it may have been a fair shot.
Love to see a replay on that one.
But a break in the action nonetheless. It is a low blow to Bam Bam.
Well, here's the replay. See if we can see it. Oh, no, that wasn't far enough back. He's just tapping his shorts at that point.
That was him tapping his shorts.
Ooh. Mendoza looking for those ribs once again.
Mendoza not shying away from that shot to the breadbasket.
One thing we really haven't seen yet from Adams is him string something together, though. It's kind of been that one shot and get out of range.
I mean, he's going to get tired. His feet are just kind of all over the place and launching shots with intention, definitely, but.
Check with hair, maybe glanced off of him.
I would say that's the first shot that's scored clean.
This is going to be a hard round to judge. There just wasn't a whole lot that connected.
Yeah, but I think it was pretty clear that Chris Mendoza was the one in control. Landed some good shots, crossed to the body, landed the more meaningful stuff. Freddie Adams, you know, reaching, trying to be evasive, but the less effective of the two, in my opinion.
It was really the body shots that were the difference in that round. Nobody really scored clean with anything up high. There was that nice check hook that we saw from Adams, but outside of that, I felt like the shots from Mendoza to the body were really what was adding up.
Yeah, that was honestly about it. And I was very impressed early on with Chris Mendoza. Just Adams had some, you know, was throwing some things with intention on them, and Chris Mendoza just barely out of the way, eyes open, knows exactly where he is. And I think we'll see him kind of get going as this fight progresses a little bit. And the Mendoza corner was saying Freddie Adams was tired. Let's see if that proves to be true.
Let's see who makes the adjustments.
I have to agree. I think the check hook kind of glanced. I think the body shots are probably the most solid thing that came out of that round.
Mendoza looking for him once again to open up round two. Adams answers with one of his own.
There's definitely a knuckleball, left hand to the body. Mendoza probing, feeling out his distance, taking his time. Just so slightly offline. Jab finds its mark there for Freddie Adams. Again, just kind of flicks the jab in as Mendoza makes his way in.
Get a nice breeze over here.
Wondering when Mendoza is going to kind of stepping on the foot there. That's a common tactic of the southpaw orthodox matchup, especially.
Yeah, there's some heavy body shots that we got to hear. Oh, big overhand. He's got him right where he wants him. Adams is trying to escape.
It's really the first time in this fight we've seen either fighter be able to add some punches up. And Mendoza got Adams trapped in the corner.
Kind of what Chris Mendoza was waiting on. He's put plenty of pennies in the bank with that cross to the body. I think he's going to come up high and try to straighten it out. Land the chin here. Mendoza corner calling for feints.
Yeah, it seems like that feint did work, but he didn't put anything behind it. We're a little disappointed with him for that, but let's see if he can put it together.
Final minute of the second round. Adams needs to find some urgency here at the end of this second round.
This is definitely the worst position for him up against the ropes. It's where Chris Mendoza has had his best moments. Cheeky uppercut there, scores on the inside. Freddie Adams standing tall.
Big swing and a miss from Adams. And could have been a good opportunity for Mendoza, but they clinched up.
Last 5 seconds of the round here.
Good jab from Adams to close things out. Okay, we were wrong on our time. Last 10 seconds now. And again, we've seen that right there so many times in this fight where Mendoza's just way out of range. Adams is reaching and lunging, and there's just nobody home. That's really been Mendoza's ability to stay out of the range of any damage.
Absolutely. Mendoza having some good moments in this round too. Slowed down a little bit. It seems like he's being patient to me. You can see his corner rather animated, trying to urge him to just maybe have a little more volume, put a few more things together. He's certainly in position to do it. Looking forward to seeing how this round plays out a little bit. I would agree. I think Freddie Adams is kind of gassing a little bit as this thing goes. Just you see less activity, and he can kind of play it off as gamesmanship. I don't know. He has been somewhat more effective slowing it down a little bit, but yeah, not a tough round to score for me.
Yeah, the only really big flurry we saw is when Mendoza trapped Adams in that corner, and I definitely want to see him do that again. I mean, Adams is doing pretty good at skirting the perimeters of the ring. He's really got to walk his opponent down and get him somewhere where he can land. They're both just kind of right out of range of each other the whole time.
And at some point, Adams has got to string together some kind of combination. Everything has just been one shot the entire fight.
Wasn't a bad cross there from Adams, kind of leaning into his unorthodox style a little bit. Mendoza, that was close. Kind of got his feet tangled up there.
Yeah, that was a trip.
See Mendoza shifting gears here a little bit. I don't blame him. Good eyes, good movement.
pretty likely that Mendoza's up 2-0 going into this 3rd round.
There's Adams stepping on the foot there.
Better work there.
Adams shaking him off again, but he hasn't.
I feel like he needs to stop shaking his head and
Yeah.
try to get a counter.
I agree.
Punch. Not a terrible check hook there.
Yeah. As I call for a counter.
Well, that's the best way to answer your opponent, right? Not to shake your head, is to punch him back. Final 60 seconds. You would think that Adam needs a big
There we
shot.
go.
Here's one.
And in a fight like this, that might turn the tide in his favor.
We haven't really seen a whole lot from the right hand of Adams, to be honest with you. He hadn't thrown a ton of jabs.
Couple of body shots for Mendoza.
Quite the difference between the boxing and the kickboxing that we've seen so far. Tons and tons of action, you know, from our amateur kickboxers. And the boxing just kind of slows down as far as the action's concerned. And that's just boxing in general, though, is it not? I mean, there's a reason mixed martial arts has become so... it's become so much bigger here lately because the fans really love to see that.
What do they say? Good boxing's like good jazz. The better it is, the less it's appreciated, type of thing.
That could make sense,
I
yeah.
think it does make sense. And that's why a lot of people, especially within the boxing realm, are less fans of MMA because they think it's just more eye-catching and things of that matter, kind of the boom-bang effect. And many boxers feel as if, you know, this is the sweet science. This is still the more civil of the two games. And both arguments are perfectly fine.
Yeah,
I like both. I'm a fan of combat sports myself. Good action by both guys, but yeah, a little bit shifting the pace here.
And both sports have different elements that can be a little bit boring to the average fan. You know, that the specialists only the specialists appreciate.
Absolutely. Well, it's the wrestling. Some people don't want to see the wrestling, right? And we have a 4th round upon us, one that Mendoza seems to be.
And certainly for the specialists, there are things that can be appreciated here. You know, it's not as easy as it looks to stay out of the range of those punches while trying to land your own. And so for the average fan, it seems a little boring when nobody's landing, but it's, you know, for a fan of boxing, they can appreciate the slips and the feints and the range and the distance management. And both of these guys have been doing a good job with that.
Chris Mendoza's corner letting him hear it just a bit.
Yeah, they want
Just calling for a little more volume, a little more action, and I'm not opposed to it. He has had some good work, but his feet are in good positions. I agree with them. Seems like he could. Easier said than done. He's standing in front of an awkward moving opponent. This guy is certainly not the traditional boxer. That was a solid shot. Good straight right hand. I think it found its mark. This is better work. I mean, he hit his knee his own self.
I mean, that's like a batter going for the home run, right? You put everything into
that was
it.
Close.
Mendoza with a big shot.
Yeah, you really can't fault Mendoza for throwing that punch. Oh, that was a beautiful hook that he just landed.
You see the speed and the technique from Mendoza. Kind of pushes him off balance there.
Oh, mouthpiece dropped out.
Right
Heard that body shot. Trying to home for that straight right to the body.
Final 30 seconds here of this fourth round. Nice jab from Adams. We haven't seen a ton of that, though. I'd like to see more of it.
That right hand found its mark for Chris Mendoza.
This is where Chris needs to be. Get him in that corner and do work. All right, so let's look at some of these replays. That one didn't quite land. A lot of that, a lot of punches that didn't quite land. A few good shots to the body from Mendoza.
Pretty frustrating night for Mendoza. You can tell his corner's a little on him a little bit, but I can, I understand. I can relate. Sometimes you get out there, you're in front of an awkward moving fella, and we're still throwing punches. We're still firing real stuff at each other, and it was a fight at the end of the night. I think Mendoza definitely did enough to get it done, but you got to think he's a little frustrated, and rightfully so. You can tell, like, from my perspective, I can see the kid is very talented. Had some great moments, eyes open, sees everything, just in the right range. Had some trouble getting it going at times.
Yeah, I think if I had one word to sum up this fight, it would just be awkward. It was just an awkward clash of styles. Neither fighter really finding a lot of success with their strikes. It's going to be interesting to see what the judges come up with here.
I'd be disappointed if we saw anything other than a Chris Mendoza win, just purely from a boxing perspective.
For sure.
After 4 rounds of boxing action, we are going to our judges' scorecard. Judge Freddie scores this bout 40-36 in favor of Mendoza. Judge Pat Dayton scores this bout 40-36 in favor of Mendoza. Our third and final judge, Mr. Matt McFarland, has scored this bout 39-37 in favor of your winner by unanimous decision, Chris Mendoza!
Talk to me real quick, Chris. 40-36. Pretty much a dominant fight from start to finish. What was your game plan and your next
we're pretty much trying to go to the left side. Southpaw, real awkward. Right hand anyway. He didn't really do much. He touched him like once or twice. There was really no power behind him, trying to lock him down. But he didn't want to fight. He just kept running. Still,
one thing that I was pointing out during the fight, you were staying out of range. He was throwing bombs, especially with the left hand from way outside. You saw it coming and you stayed out of range.
yeah, he was slowing up. I mean, my little brother corner side could see that shot coming, so it wasn't nothing I hadn't seen before.
What's next for Chris Mendoza?
We're gonna get back in the camp, get my stamina better, better punch out, and just keep working, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Chris Mendoza.
And ladies and gentlemen, how about a round of applause for the anchor of the AKA pay-per-view commentary team, Mr. Tyler Mooney.